Dave from Offroad Animal. We've come to the Victorian High Country to do a comparo on some of our company dual cab utes. Behind me, we have the Ford Ranger XLT and the Toyota Hilux wide body Rogue. Now, no comparo would be complete without a left field option. So we got the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon, which should tear it up in the tracks. Now, all these vehicles are slightly modified to tackle camping, touring, overlanding arrangements. I hope you enjoy watching different vehicles drive over the same tracks. Let's get on it.
We are in the Offroad Animal Gladiator, off-road where it's meant to be. We're set up here with the Offroad Animal Predator bar, which has our winch and lights mounted. And we also have our new unnamed rack on the back, which allows us to carry some tents and jerry cans and boxes for when we're getting away off-road. Love the Gladiator off-road. Suspension's beautiful, takes everything. We've seen it climbing stuff with ease. It's a ripper of an off-road vehicle. All we've done to improve it is to make it better off-road, and whatever it does on-road is what we deal with.
Yeah, so the Hilux, it's definitely a solid performer on-road, off-road. I wouldn't say anything super duper outstanding, but it's got that Toyota reliability, that sort of high build quality reputation. Right now when we're off-road, it's plenty of torque. The motor's not as powerful as the Ranger or the Gladiator. You can definitely feel it when you're on the road. But yeah, going on the steep stuff off the road, there's no issues, it's fine. And yeah, when you're sitting in the car, it's familiar. You got all the same controls that you'd come to see in Toyota Camrys, Toyota RAV4s, whatever. It's comfortable. It does start to feel a bit dated compared to the Ranger and stuff, because this car is probably, it's around 7-8 years old now. I think it's just a mini refresh, I guess. I've been pleasantly surprised with its performance. Like, it's got the smallest tires out of all 3 cars that we've brought on this trip. But even on some of the deep ruts that we've gone on, it's actually been able to hold its own. No recovery winching required, it'll get up on its own. So definitely pleasantly surprised, and it's sort of, again, it's a solid performer. There's no real major drawback to this car.
The Ranger has just this sweet V6 motor. It makes this car such a pleasure to drive. As an all-around vehicle, it's just great. Great car for driving around town, dropping the kids off, going shopping, but here, going off-road as well. It's almost the complete package. It lacks a little bit going off-road, not a lot. I mean, it's still a good car, but just needs a little bit extra. Offroad Animal's got a lot of gear on this that makes it camping just fantastic. It's also got a real good look about it, and value for money is definitely there. So this is only the XLT variant, so obviously you get up to the wild track and you're getting a few more mod cons, but priced great, performance great. It's kind of the complete package. The suspension's modern. The motor really is the pick of the bunch. You compare the Gladiator's petrol motor, just no torque compared to this thing. This thing just gets up and wants to boogie. I'm really, really happy with this Ranger here. It excels enough that you'd be very happy if you got the Ranger kitted out, a little bit of a lift, some bar work for protection, and some camping gear. Mate, it's going to be a pretty happy customer, I think, driving a Ranger. Sitting around the campfire here with Ben and Leon from Offroad Animal. We've just driven all the vehicles on-road and off-road, and we're here to discuss what we like and don't like about all of them. Ben, what do you think about the Gladiator on-road?
The Gladiator is clearly not built to be an on-road car. It got us here all right. It was fine to get here, but it's nowhere near as pleasant to drive on the road as the Hilux or the Ranger.
Yeah, I hear you. Leon, what do you think about the Hilux on its on-road status?
I think the Hilux is a decent performer. It's got all the normal creature comforts you come to expect for a road-going car. I feel like the engine probably lets it a bit down on-road compared to the Ranger. It's not quite as smooth with its 4-cylinder diesel engine. But otherwise, yeah, decent overall performer.
I have to agree with you there. The Ranger is fantastic on road. The interior comfort, the infotainment is just magnificent. Now, I do enjoy the Gladiator, but on road, I have to give trumps to the Ranger. Yeah. Now, what about off-road? Ben, what do you think about the Gladiator when it comes to off-road?
No comparison. It's right there. It's for the off-road. It has everything you need. Front and rear lockers, sway bar disconnect, live axles. It's built for the off-road. That's where it's happy.
I tend to agree with you there. Leon, tell me about the Hilux off-road. It's a bit of a performer off-road. How does it compare to the rest?
It does quite well, but yeah, compared to the Gladiator especially, yeah, it doesn't really compare, but it's got quite decent wheel articulation. Ground clearance is quite nice, so again, it's a pretty decent overall performer. Nothing super duper outstanding about it, but nothing seriously wrong with it either.
Out of the box, I agree. The Hilux is fantastic off-road. The chassis flex plus the suspension really lets it perform off-road. Not quite up to the Gladiator standards, but that factory diff lock is definitely helpful. I think that's probably the only point where the Ranger is let down is off-road, but the power from that V6 is just great.
Yeah. Have fun getting there.
Yeah. Look, they're all three really good vehicles. So Ben, when it comes to actually modifying the vehicle, what do you think about for the Gladiator?
Well, we've obviously got a lot of competitors from overseas, but we need to look at what is ADR compliant and built for local trails, and that's where Offroad Animal comes to the front.
Yep, I completely agree with you. Leon, when it comes to modifying the Hilux, there's a lot of options out there. What do you reckon?
There certainly are lots of options. Being a bit more of an older model, pretty much every manufacturer has something out there, but I'd argue quite easily that a lot of the stuff out there looks quite conservative and a bit dull, if I use that word. But when it comes to the Offroad Animal products, it definitely helps your Hilux stick out from the crowd, while still offering all the excellent features that you're after in an off-road vehicle.
100% agree, mate. Look, and with the Ranger, Offroad Animal builds its brand on the Ranger initially. We just kill it when it comes to Ranger. A lot of options available for the Ranger, Hilux and Gladiator. Offroad Animal's got you covered. Now look, when it comes to our choice for the vehicles and what you would spend your hard-earned on, for me, thinking about what I do with vehicles, I think I would go with the Gladiator. As much as I love the Ranger on road and the Hilux is just that great all-around performer, for me, I'd have to say it'd be the Gladiator. Ben?
Yeah, for all the on-road compromises, I just love that thing off-road and have not enough problems with it on-road. Gladiator.
Leon?
Well, it depends a bit more on your lifestyle. If you're not going outside off-road quite as often, then maybe towards the Hilux or Ranger. It's a bit more comfortable on the road. That's where you spend most of your time.
Great. Look, that's a wrap from Offroad Animal, comparing the Gladiator, the Hilux, and the Ranger off-road. Your choice, it's up to you.
So, do I get overtime for this? Or?
Overtime?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No?